it's just been magic. Like, literally how my life has been the last 2 years, I wanna say. It's so many signs and synchronicities, and I guess you would say the same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
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 Well, they're everywhere. No, I view that as like your personal tarot in a way. You know what I mean? Like,
The signs and synchronicities.
yeah, as
Oh,
like something to read and like
yeah.
interpret.
Well, that's also just how you become, like, your own oracle, right?
Ding, 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 ding.
Right? It's
Oh,
because
yeah.
yeah, when you pay attention and you see I like to call it breadcrumbs because they are, right? It's like we don't know sometimes what they mean, and then, like, we don't know where it's leading to, and then obviously looking back, we're like, "Oh, I see all the breadcrumbs, the dots going."
Yeah. Well, they're like little portals. Yeah, because you don't know where they're gonna take you, right? You're just
Exactly.
like, "Ooh, I'm supposed to pay attention to you. Okay."
Right? Oh, and that is walking the path of the unknown. Because
Yeah.
walking the path of the unknown, oh my god. I mean, it's it's a
Mhm.
constant test. It really is. Constant test of faith, constant test of surrender, constant test of, like, moving moving forward without having the roadmap. Just being like, "I guess I'm doing this, I'm get" like, it's a different way of living, that's for sure.
It definitely
You
is a
know?
different way of living. Yeah. No, I agree. But, I mean, you can change the perspective to where it's magical, right? It's unfolding. It's like reading a book and
That
you don't know what's happening next, but you're like, I want to know kind of thing. And you're
I
like, how am I going to be
struggle.
surprised this time? Like, what blessing is going to find me now? And then that just, you're like, okay, okay, like, let's flow with this. Like, oh, you're going to send me this. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, you
It's
kind
I love it, and I love it, but it's also like it's
of, well, it pushes on that need to control and the
yeah.
anxiety and like, like I would really rather just, maybe slow it down. Maybe just give me some more hints. Yeah.
Right?
Right?
Let me know I'm gonna be okay in for
But
the next 2 or 3 months.
we already know we are,
I
really.
I know, but it's that constant dance, right? Of, like,
Yeah.
your ego and your soul and, like, the known and the unknown, and it's it I do feel like, and I know wasn't our original topic, but I feel like we're gonna get there. I do feel like it's like us living this way, we are being initiated into living this way. Because I do think that this
Okay.
is almost like I guess you could say the original way of how we're supposed to live, of not knowing, of not because we're born to this society, and they give us a freaking map of like, go to school, graduate, pick a career, do this, and then once you reach 30, you need to get married, right? And a lot of us do adopt that, and then we find ourselves not happy in it, right? And I mean, that's where I got to. I'm like, you know what? Screw this map. I'm letting it go. I don't like it. I'm not following it. And that's when we're kind of left of like, okay, well, now we need to like follow our own map or follow our own internal guidance system of like,
Yeah.
and it is like this unknown but yet known, right? And I love that book analogy because you're right. It's like you're reading the book, you're reading it page by page, you're being present with it, and it's like you do wanna know what happens, but you don't wanna, like, ruin it and skip to, like, page 300 and find you're like, "No, no, let me enjoy the story." Let me, like, go you know, go through it and then find out what happens once I finally get to page 300 and you're like, "Wow, that was so cool," right? But it's different when it's, like, us going through it, we're like, "But we wanna know, but we don't wanna know." It's it's that dance, right?
Yeah. It's definitely a dance. I think I'm in a place where most of the days I'm in trust and, like, surrender, but then I'll get flare-ups. But
Absolutely.
when the fear or doubt or whatever is flaring,
Mm.
um, I just stay with it, right? And I'm like, "Okay, what oh, I'm insecure about this right now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what do I actually know?" Like, I'm gonna be logical a little bit and like, "Oh, okay, I can actually take steps to solve this," like the job or stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, just like, yeah, let's do a group collab. Let's just get creative here. Let's just
Right?
combine our brains, see what's going on, right?
Right?
You were like, Okay, I can do that idea. I can do this." And then that's that inner alchemy of transmitting that fear and doubt and like that kind of tension
Yeah.
back into that ease and, like, softness of that surrender, and then it all just feels, like, caressing and just like, "Oh, oh, okay. Yes."
Yummy, right? Yeah, I don't know, it's a constant dance, right? Because I get to those places too. Um, and what's interesting, I think, so I know I was telling before we went on live, and by the way, I'm sorry, I have to, like I'm wearing, like, a boot for this leg, and I have to take it off, so I'm sorry, I should have done that before, but,
You're okay.
um, so yeah, before we went live, I was telling Joy how, like, I did something to my leg, and I do think there were 2 meanings. So I kind of did see myself getting into the mode of, like, "Oh my god, I need to, like, figure things out." Like, that fire in me started to get activated, and when it gets activated, like, I'm very, like, not f maybe forceful, but, like, very, like I just it's like an arrow, right? And I'm like, and I just, like I'm like, "Okay, I need to just get it done." Like, I need to like, it's a very I guess you could say it's a very masculine, forceful kind of energy, and I did start tapping into that a week ago, and then I slipped. So I think there's 2 meanings to that, right? That first meaning of, like, the divine being like, "No, this is the old way. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't be so forceful, like, trust, trust." It's been, like, a huge lesson in trust, faith, and surrender. It's like, yes, take aligned action, but don't be forceful.
Yeah, you wanna know where the core of the reason you're doing the action is coming from.
Yeah.
Right? If
Yeah.
you're applying for a job or something because it excites you, because you're lit up, because it's giving you ideas, fuck yes, that's a
Yeah.
yes. If
Yeah.
you're like, "Fuck, I need money," and then that's a
And I'm
no.
panicking. And I'm panicking, and I also need, like, to change the situation and blah, 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 right? Yeah, definitely I
Yeah.
know. It came definitely from that place of, like, anxiety, which I think, like I said, it was a double meaning. That first meaning of, like, relax, like, for me, truly, I am a more active person. I have
Yeah.
a lot of that energy, that fiery energy. Like, for me, I need to move my body. I have to. It's if I don't, like, release this fire, like, I'm not a person I can just sit the whole day and
Nope.
just
Yeah.
peace and be zen. Like, I need to move my body, and I've always been that way even since I was young. Like, my mom signed me up for ballet. I was a horse rider, like, I'm just, like, always, right? And, So even, like, because my leg is swollen, I can't move around. So I'm just
You
like,
gotta
and then I
channel it another way.
right? I know, but, it really is like the divine is like, "Just sit with it, sit with it, sit with it." I'm just like, "Why does this have to be my lesson?" This is where I struggle the most, you know? And, I will share because again, I was telling Joy before we went live about the other reason why this happened, was, so this happened on my left side, right? Left side of, my body, and intuitively, the first thing that came up was like, "Oh my gosh, my feminine feels unsupported," because we can all agree that women, like, yes, we can do it all on our own. We can, be prideful of like, yes, we got this, we're doing it. Even like women who are like top CEOs or whatever, like obviously, right? Like women can, but when you go back into the root of it, do they really want to? And almost every woman will be like, I'm tired of carrying it on my own. I'm tired of like not having that physical masculine container of taking that weight, right, off. And I knew that's what was happening in my body physically of like, "Oh, great, so my feminine does," because I have been feeling like, it'd be nice to have, like, that support, the energetic support, whatever, right, of the masculine container because 'cause I'm just tired of trying to figure it out, blah, 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 right? And, and Joy and I were talking how, like, I had a friend that this exact thing happened a month ago to her leg on the left side, and then I shared with her about, like, if she also was feeling that way, she's like, "Yeah, yeah." And then she knew 5 other women also within the same month that this happened to, and I was just like, "This is and she basically told me that, yeah, these women are also just doing it on their own. They're just, like, they're treading, they're figuring it out. Yeah, they're living life, and sure, they're enjoying it, but at the base of it, it's like, no, we're kinda, like, we're just tired, right?"
Well, I think it's, you can be that internal structure, like the masculine for
Yeah.
yourself, right? You don't need to outsource that. But I think the hiccup there that a lot of women fall into is we were taught and shown how to do it the way a man does it. And even though we have an inner masculine, it doesn't fit society's,
Mm.
structured way that because it doesn't follow our flow. So that's where we're
Yes.
feeling that, kind of tension there. So that's why, like, for me, I like being my own boss, right? Like I told you, I'm like, I'm a freelancer. I like that
Yes,
because I
yes.
can be in my flow. I don't
Yeah.
mind doing tasks
Yeah.
for money.
Yeah,
I honestly don't. But, if but I wanna work for somebody I light up about. So that tends to
yes.
be other spiritual workers or doctors,
Mm. People
people
on a mission.
yeah,
Right.
people who have they're helping other people. I wanna help them, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I can get behind this mission. I have no scruples making content for you or,
Yeah.
doing whatever, right? But I wanna do it in my flow. I
Yeah.
got all of these things going on. I'm a writer, I'm a mom, I'm a content creator, right? Like,
Mhm.
I wanna explore all these things,
Yep.
but also provide for myself. So
Yeah.
it's relearning or not relearning, but, like, forging your own way to create that, and that is masculine energy
Yes.
within ourselves. So it's like, um, I don't know. What do you think about that?
I mean, I agree with what you're saying because I'm the same way. I'm like, I need my own rhythm, and I feel like that is kind of what women are tapping into, right? Of like, we don't fit in that masculine structure. We need our own structure, right? Of honoring our own flow as well and our own cycles. But I have heard Joy, and I do agree with this. Of course, we can tap into both polarities. Both polarities in both genders are like available in us, right? Obviously, we tap into it every single day, right? But I have heard other people who talk about the same thing, them say that like for example, for a woman to fully um experience and be in her feminine, she actually does need that masculine container, right? Again,
Mm.
it doesn't have to be a man, like, if someone is into the same set, we all carry that polarity, right? One person is obviously going to be tapped into the feminine, one person is going to be tapped into the like that's just how that's that yin and yang balance, right? But yeah, they were saying how like for example, for a woman who's more feminine, like she can truly tap into her feminine if she has that masculine, that physical masculine container that allows her to kind of, in a way, I guess, maybe subconsciously, because again, I can't speak since I'm not in that, but to fully drop into that and then vice versa as well, right? Because when we hold those polarities, it's like, oh well, we can let go of that part of ourselves, right? Because this other individual got it. And I do think there is like a just a craving that we have, and I think that's a natural thing for us to crave that, to want that,
Oh,
to
yeah.
not wanna hold it all together, right? Especially women. Like, again, I can't speak for men because I don't know what they truly feel. But I know, like, I've spoken to so many women, it's like, yeah, like, of course we're doing it, we're making it work, we're getting up and whatever, right? Like, they're
Well,
holding.
I think a lot of that is it's hard to let me try to I got a lot of thoughts. Hold on. They're very good, I promise. Um, well, now they're all fading, but we'll see what comes.
Okay.
But, we don't wanna base it on to me, it's like all my previous relationships are blueprints for what obviously did not work,
Yes.
right? And when I reflect, which I've been doing this is like a whole year of reflecting basically, it's like, I can see where I moved into the masculine and took over.
Mm,
And
mhm,
then I felt like I was holding everything, right?
mhm.
The emotions, the logistics, and, the household stuff, and, trying to do everything else. He's making the money, I'm doing everything else, and that's
Y
heavy.
yes.
Obviously, that's a bad blueprint, right?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
not how we want that's not what we're craving, that's not what you're talking about.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So,
It's energetic. It's
it is
energetic.
energetic.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
And when you are in that zone, it's not that you lose your masculine, because I have experienced it. And it's you just lead with your feminine. And it's
Yeah.
natural because it's like it's getting pulled out of you in a way. You don't have to like think about like, oh, I need to be feminine about this. No. It's just, oh, I just want to say this thing. Or I just want to express it like this. Or it's you just naturally, if you're in
Yeah.
that polarity, that's just how you just want to be. And it feels good. And you're right. You have that structure. And it's almost like you can just play in it. You can swim around in it.
Mm.
You can express in it and you feel safe expressing. And I think
Yes.
that's
That
something in
safety.
probably our old, trauma bit bonding, whatever freaking relationships we were in, right? Where we're projecting it, it's all just it's just all
A lot of stuff.
and we've all been in them, so no judgment, right? But we know that's not what we want. We don't ever want to go back to that, right? We know we deserve more. And the men are figuring that out too, right? They're getting divorced, they're figuring it out. That wasn't fun for them either, right?
No, but you know what, Joy? I do feel like they're a lot slower.
I think it To us, maybe it appears that way, but I don't
Because
know if they really are.
I don't know, because I feel like a lot of us who are on this path, right? Again, I'm not speaking to every single woman, but a lot of women who are on this path, I just feel like I think it's natural for us to be alchemists.
Yeah,
We like, you know,
100%.
think about, like even when we start, getting our periods and dealing with period cramps. My lord, like, we're alchemizing that, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
different,
that's a good
obviously,
point.
things that come up in us and blah blah blah. But I think, I don't know. I think it's just I've always believed that women are leading the way in this, leading the way to like seeing the changes and blah 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 blah. Not saying that men don't do a part, but I don't know. I just feel like men drag their feet.
I think it's well, like I said, I've been reflecting a lot. Some definitely drag their feet, and if it to me, it's not if you're confused, if you're unsure, don't even continue. Don't even continue that. There's because that's got distortion in it.
Wait,
When it
what do
is,
you mean?
oh,
Just clarity. What do you mean? Like, if the woman is confused or the man is
yeah,
confused?
well, as a woman, if you're experiencing confusion around a
Mm.
relationship, I'm
Mm.
like, well, I don't understand. Like he did this, but then he did this, right? And they don't match. So I want it to be that, but then he did
Yeah.
this. So do I just disregard? Like, and you get in that fuck that. Just fuck it. Um, I would recommend rewatching or reading that old. It's old because I'm old, I suppose. He's just not
No.
that into you. Do you remember that movie? Because like, if there's confusion,
Yeah.
that's what that then he's not coming at you at the way you want or deserve, right?
Yeah.
Even if you like him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But you know what? This is. I'm now seeing the thread how we're gonna get to this topic, but which I love. I love because it's like we don't plan for it; it just naturally happens. Um, I've also been actually reflecting, Joy, on this past year and the masculines that I have come into contact with. And I have to say, the ones that are walking the path that they're healing or healed or and again, I get this journey is like we're all on different points of this
Yeah.
like healing journey, right? Some people are just starting, some people are a little bit further ahead, some people are even like it really depends. And I've met quite a few that are like on different points of this journey, but I have to say that they're quite disembodied.
A lot. A lot. Yeah. A lot of them are.
But it's been like the ones that are on this journey because I've also met ones that aren't. Like just because like for example, I volunteered at an event or whatever and like, I could, you can tell who's kind of on this journey, who's kind of like maybe they know of it, but they're just like what and I'm like, how are you more embodied? You're more embodied and you're more like I don't like emotionally available, emotionally transparent than these ones that are on the healing journey, And maybe that's why they're on the healing journey to heal that, right? And they just haven't been initiated deep because that's why I think those men meet the like healed conscious women because what I've noticed and we've talked about this before, Joy, is we end up being a tower moment for them and we're like, "What? How?" Like I thought you're healing. I thought you're doing the work. And this is where I think what I mean, men are dragging their feet because again, not all of them, but they'll meet a conscious woman, they'll meet a conscious healed woman, and they'll be like, whoa, I thought I dealt with this fear. I thought I dealt with this wound and blah, 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 blah. And because women are mirrors, and I mean, all of us are mirrors, but like, especially a healed woman, like they'll be like, whoa, wait a minute. Am I actually ready for this? Am I actually da 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 da? And then like, they retreat, they back off and blah, 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 blah. Right. And I'm just like, wow, like it's interesting to me how like these men that are healing on the spiritual journey, da 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 da, they they have like quite a lot of work still. And I don't know, maybe you did found different, but that's just what I've been finding when
Uh,
I've reflected this past year. I'm like, all of you healed spiritual men that I have met, it's a lot more work that they still need.
One thing I've noticed, um, over the men I've met over the past year is, if they are disembodied, they have the knowledge, but it's moving it into their body.
The body.
And
Exactly.
they either write that off, right? Like, I don't even fucking do that. Or like they think they have, but then their actions and stuff are not showing it, right?
Yes.
And you're like, something's off here. I'm confused.
Right?
I'm confused. Your words are saying this, but your actions are saying this.
It's
They
all
should be
here, but it's not
aligned, right?
grounded. Yeah.
But then when you meet one who is aligned, you're like, oh, snap.
But that's
This,
what
I get it. He's got it. He moved out all that beautiful fucking knowledge, all the books he's read. He's living it. It's embodied. I can see it. The actions are matching the words. The energy is matching. I am not confused. I can ask for clarity and not be scared of the response.
right.
Oh, I can settle into this. I can be more feminine now. I can express myself. And it doesn't even I'm not even talking, it doesn't even have to be romantic. This could be just
Yeah.
friends, right? Um,
Yeah.
but it's that polarity that we're speaking
Yeah.
of. And like when you, like I said, I've experienced both the confusion and the non. And it's like, oh, fuck, let's just pause and like imprint this. So I don't fall, I don't fall for that confusion again. And it's so beautiful, at least for me, Alexandra, is I'll stop. Like this sounds really bad,
No.
but like the new ones I meet are better. That's not better. That's not, I don't mean that. I just
No, no,
mean
I know.
they are embodied. Or, like I'm not seeing the same mirror over and over is what I'm trying to get at in a very horrible way, but I'm getting there.
But can I ask you though, are the ones that you're meeting that are like embodied, are they under the umbrella of spirituality and healing and all that?
Yeah, most
They
of them.
are.
Yeah.
Really? Interest but okay. Well,
And
I guess
at
there's different levels
various
to it.
levels of entering that space.
You
Some
know
of
what
them
I'm
haven't been in it very long, and then others have been in it, on the journey for as long as me, if not longer. So
hmm. Interesting.
and
Interesting.
then some of them that are unembodied have been on it for like 20 fucking years, right?
Yeah. It it again, it is interesting that you say that because in a way, yeah, in a way, I mean, again, who knows for me, like what experiences will come in, but I've just noticed my own, what I've been witnessing and meeting is like, whoa, all these like, again, men that do call themselves spiritual are on this journey and blah blah blah. I'm like, they talk the talk, but to walk the walk, oh, that's a different. And like they'll sometimes pretend that they're walking the walk, but again, like once they're met with a healed, conscious woman that starts reflecting, or they start seeing their own stuff, they're like, and then they kind of retreat before you get to see what they're still trying to hide and not wanting to look at. And then I've met, like I said, I've met men that I don't think they would actually put themselves in that category. Maybe they're open to looking at their stuff and, I don't know, healing and whatever, but, like, I don't think they would proclaim themselves to be spiritual or whatever. They're just like, "Yeah, okay." And so much more embodied, so much more clear, so much more like I said, just, I guess, emotionally transparent, like, clear, just clear. You're not confused with them, and like you said, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could also be platonic. Because 'cause I've experienced this with a friend of mine, and I was like, "I feel safer with you than some of these other men that I've met that are spiritual."
Well, I think that is more maybe psychological, right? Or maybe they've done therapy or whatever, right? Like, I was an atheist when I went and did therapy, and I was working on myself, doing all the inner work stuff as a freaking atheist, right? Like, it doesn't
Yeah, yeah.
there's no prerequisite, you have to
Yeah,
be spiritual, right?
yeah.
Um, because I've met ones who, were not as woo-woo as me, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, they don't know what I mean when I say chakras or, like, they're like, "Whatever," right? "Whatever floats your boat." But, but I can tell, yeah, they've done the work. They have emotional intelligence, right?
Mm,
They at least have that. They're embodied, and to us as women, it feels safer and everything.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you for me, I'm really happy I got to experience that difference because I felt it in my body. I
Oh,
literally
definitely. You feel it.
felt
Like, for us, it's visceral. It's all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I was with this friend, I'm like, "Whoa, my body feels like it can like, it was actually a very strange thing for me, and I guess it was kind of mirroring to me how much I I guess
Ticks.
yes, hold.
It's your nervous system.
Yeah, and again, how women have been programmed to behave, how, we constantly have to look out for ourselves and blah, 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 right? And it was really because I have to tell you, like, he's much younger than me, and I was, like, still in that frame, but I guess it started to be a subconscious thing. He started doing things where I was like, "Wait, I can relax?
Mm.
Huh? What?" And I actually caught myself, my nervous system kind of being like,
Yeah, you can
it
feel
would
the shift, right?
yes, it would
And you
relax.
know what? They can too.
Oh, like, they're nervous? Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I noticed whenever I got tense, it's like and maybe this is subconscious because I feel like this is just who this person is. He would shift more into, like, "Don't worry, I got you," type of thing, and then I would, like, relax again, but then because I'm not really used to that, I would kinda go back into, like, trying to hold, and then it was really freaking I've never never experienced that, and like I said, with these other men, it would kinda be like I didn't really have the space or my nervous system just was telling me that, like, "No, we can't do this," right? We can't fully relax, and, like, I never got a chance to just open and just breathe, right? Um I don't know, it's been really freaking interesting first, I gotta say, like, walking this journey and, like, coming back into your feminine because, again, I know we've talked about it, it's like we do become so magnetic where it's like we attract everything to ourselves, everything, like, the I guess you could say the disembodied men and the embodied men, and now it's just really interesting to feel within your body to
Yeah, you can map it, right?
yeah.
You'll remember what it feels like, and then you're like, "Oh, oh, that's the confusion. Red flags," right? Or, this is good," right? Like, "Oh,
Yeah,
okay, green flags. Let's, proceed in this way." But yeah,
and I have to say it's not a look thing at all.
no.
Like, it's not our physical body at all. It's a nervous like, it's crazy. It's a nervous system thing. It really is.
Oh, the way we soften and everything. Yeah.
Um,
Or you
Well,
just
you
mean
know
like
how, like,
attraction?
well, yeah, I guess like, because for example, I guess you could see, I guess, by society standards of what is deemed to be a masculine man, right? Maybe works out at the gym, looks whatever, right? But then it's like when you're with him, you can actually feel your nervous system not relaxing, even though he might look the part of a masculine man that should have it. And it's like, but your body knows, versus someone who maybe is not that, like, conventional, but if they got it, again, your nervous system knows. And that's what I mean to say it's not a look thing, right? And I'm mentioning that because there's certain creators and I guess coaches on the online space. And there's this one guy that I was following, because at first he was saying certain things. I'm like, okay, yes. But then he started saying other things about, like, looks and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, no, you don't get it. It's not a look thing. And it's not you having a six-figure income and, like,
Right.
cool. All those things are the extra, right? All those things, sure. On top of all that, sure, cool, whatever. But to actually hold a healthy relationship and to maintain a healthy relationship, it has nothing to do with how you look like and all the external things about you. Like, even if, you having a six-figure job or not, like, obviously, I'm not saying be a completely lazy like, because that's not attractive in terms of, like, men who, for example, are not working at all, right? And they're just sitting on the couch and just the you know what I mean? There's a certain it's like you gotta be living life and but do you know what I mean? You know what
Yeah,
I mean, Joy, right?
I get what you're saying. Well, he needs to have a purpose.
Yes, a direction,
Yeah.
right? Because that
Doesn't
is
really
kind of what.
matter how it manifests.
Yeah.
Is he secure in himself, right?
Yes.
Is he
Yeah.
secure in his reality?
Yeah.
As am I,
Yeah.
right? Is he gonna try to pull me in to fill in holes for him? If I finally fucking learned all the lessons, I ain't doing that shit no more myself. So I don't want to. I don't want to like get in that again. So you feel into all of that, and then you feel like, no, he's not. It's not. Maybe he's doing something unconventional, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
his purpose. Okay, okay.
But you know
Like
what?
I
You
can roll
can
with that.
tell. You can tell. See, this is another thing I have been exposed to as well is that's interesting. It's coming to me now because I'm like, "Oh, that is in." So I've met men also, and again, they were kinda like on that spiritual journey, healing journey, yada, 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 and a lot of them actually did have, you could say, like, successful careers, whether they work for themselves or they work for someone else. Like, you could say that, like, they're earning well, um, and I always felt, again, it was a feeling thing. I could actually feel that they weren't happy in what they were doing, even if they told me,
Mm.
"Yeah, yeah." But I could feel the
Oh yeah,
disembodied.
you can feel it. Yeah.
And you could even tell by their own light of, like, how much they're shining or they're not. And yeah, I remember one was actually honest. He's like, "Yeah, I don't know. This is, like, ending for me, but I don't know what to do next." Another one was like, "No, I really like what I," but I could just feel like there wasn't this, like, click, you know? Um, versus, like I said, like, the friend that I have, and he's doing something completely unconventional. Maybe for some people that would think, like, but he loved, and you can tell, like,
Mm.
he, like, lights up completely when he's doing it, and I'm like, "Man, that's attractive." Actually,
Yeah.
that is what's attractive because you can tell he absolutely believes in what he's doing, he loves what he's doing, he's excited about it, he's, like, on a mission, right? And it doesn't matter if maybe, again, I don't know, if maybe he's not earning as much as like these other men who maybe were a CEO or whatever, right? But something in him wakes up when he's like doing that thing, you know? And so we can tell. We can tell if someone's lit up by what they're doing or if someone's embodied or disembodied. Like it's so interesting, especially when we ourselves become embodied, right?
Oh, yeah. And I'll be honest, I think I thought I was embodied more than I was for quite a while, at least several months there. It wasn't that I wasn't, but I'm at a deeper depth of it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was lying, but
Yeah.
when I reflect back at the growth, I'm like, "Ooh, should I have been saying that?" Let it slide. Like, I wasn't wrong, but, I still was plugging some holes there and still learning these lessons and integrating it all, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but again, that's the journey, right? That's even for myself, like, I know I've definitely become more embodied. There's probably more layers. There's more like, definitely there's more to discover with that, and I think that also comes when you do enter that conscious and healthy relationship, you know? You discover even more layers of that and, like,
Oh, yeah, you have more doors to explore,
E
right?
exactly, exactly, and again, our original topic that, wanted to dive into is coming into that relationship, and again, I'm just finding and I guess this goes more for, like, the men who are not fully embodied, maybe they're partially embodied, right? Either not, maybe they're partially, they're on the healing journey. I feel like and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe they don't think this, but it almost feels like they might think or believe that when they come in contact with, like, a conscious woman and potentially, have a relationship, that it should feel like fairy dust and rainbows and butterfly and, like, that there's never going to be anything that comes up, And I think I've mentioned this before, and I don't remember where, probably on my YouTube, where I was like, I don't really understand who came up with that. I understand having a calm nervous system, but I think it's wrong to think that when you enter a dynamic with another person, that wounds aren't gonna come up. Like, entering the relationship is just another initiation to deeper layers of yourself, both within the woman and the man. And
Oh,
that
yeah.
literally means
Mhm.
healing in partnership, meaning unlayering whatever's coming up in you, right? Like it's, how like some people say, oh, you got to heal before you enter a relationship. It's like a yes and no type of thing. Like, yes, you should be doing work on yourself if you have deep wounds, of course, but it doesn't stop there.
Right.
It continues in it continues in partnership, right? I forgot what I watched the other day, but there was, like, a reel or something that was saying how our nervous systems are actually wired to heal in partnership.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree with that.
Like, of course, you can do part of that on your own and unpack like, I feel like the healing journey when you do it on your own, it's almost to become comfortable with feeling the uncomfort, feeling the wounds
Mm.
coming out, feeling like being okay with staying with yourself as you're unpacking stuff. Because if you can do it with yourself, that's when you can do it in partnership. But if you can't do it with yourself, you can never do it in partnership because you've never held the space within yourself to look at your wounds, to look at the darkness, to look at the shadows, right? But once you become familiar with that with yourself, it becomes easier to do it with another is it gonna, like, again, easier not meaning that it's gonna feel like butterflies and rainbow, no, meaning like you're gonna feel the discomfort, but you're gonna have to just be with it, knowing that you're not gonna get burned by it. It's an invitation for deeper layers of yourself, and this is why I think, like, women are just more brave to be with that, to enter that, to look at that, and men tend to be like, "Wait, I felt like I did all this work on myself and that I should be healed and I shouldn't be feeling wounds coming up in me," right? And I think they just have the wrong idea of what that means. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm thinking I think I told you in our chat that I'm meeting people now who reflect the healing, right? We're reflecting each other's healing. But to me, that would be the exact kind of person I would want to do the deeper healing with, right? If we're reflecting our growth at each other as well. And I think part of maybe what that you need to heal first type of mentality is it got twisted, but we know that. But maybe what the heart of it is just what you were saying. Get used to like, really looking at yourself. I love that term, Clockwork Orange Eyes, if you've ever seen that movie poster. um, because then when you are in partnership, um, or in community even, right? Like in a group, we want to
Yeah.
even expand it further. You're not gonna freak out, right?
Mhm.
When they show you their rawness or when you express your own, right? There's gonna have
Yes.
that container of safety where you're probably gonna get emotional. It's gonna look just like it does in person, like with yourself, but it'll be full of love, full of compassion, and you just move through that together, right? Because
Yes.
humans are relational, right? We can go into hermit mode, but we're not meant to be hermits forever. And I'm a Sagittarius, so I mean,
What
not
are they meant
not my
what
sun
are
side, but
Sagittarius meant to be more hermit, or I don't know?
well, they're very independent.
Oh, okay.
Independent.
Okay, so that's
Like,
like Aquarius as well.
yeah. Well,
But
there's a lot of independence out there, but and like adventurous and like I just want the truth. That's Sagittarius.
yeah. Yeah.
But where am I going with this? But hmm. Yeah, I think the whole butterflies and stuff, that to me is nervous system things, right? Um,
I meant like I feel like some people think that when you enter, like, let's say you've been doing the work on yourself, right? And then you meet somebody who's also been doing the work on themselves. I think there's a misconception of like, oh, it's gonna be like buttery smooth. Like you enter this thing and it's just gonna like fit like a
here's
perfect
here's what
puzzle.
I'm learning. Depends on the speed. If if either side is rushing, that's gonna cause friction, right?
Yeah.
Because why are you rushing? There is absolutely no need to rush.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
This is a slow burn. This is to be enjoyed. This is to be savored. This is like a very long foreplay. Right? That's not even I don't even mean that erotically, right? I'm just saying like this is getting to know each other. This is if you maintain the pace in that form, to me it may not be butterflies and rainbows, but it's gonna have that calmness and that softness, and you're just gonna but it requires both people to go at that pace and to be in tune and to follow the cues. And I know for myself, with that fucking Sagittarius energy in the first house, with all these other fucking planets in there, right? It's just one way to put it, right? But I know for myself, that fire, I get excited, right? Like, oh my god, look what I found! Look at this! Look at this! I want this! I want this! And then it's There's nothing wrong with that
I
per
mean, I
se,
resonate with that, you
but
completely,
it's
that's fine.
also like, calm down, girlfriend. Like, like, why are we rushing? Because we're excited. Okay, well, that's cute and adorable. But what do you actually want? You want to be savor. Like, I can't seem to say that word, but you want to be,
No, no, I no, I know what you
like you want to feel it. You want to like get into it.
dance with it.
It's sensual, right? Like
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
do it in this way. And then you're like, oh. And then that pulls out that, for me, the feminine. And it's not that the fire's taken a back
Yeah, yeah.
seat. It's
It's just
actually
you're
brings
lowering
out,
the
yeah, it's
temperature.
like kind of like making string, like you're taking that cotton and you're just, or the
Yeah.
wool, and you're just fine tuning it. And you're making it silk. I don't know. That's probably the best way to do it. Like, we're taking this, whatever silk is before it's silk, this caterpillar stuff, and we're like,
No,
this analogy's going sideways, but
I mean, I get what you're painting. I totally get what you're painting. Um, you know what? I do agree with you. Absolutely, right? But there's also a level of like communication that needs to come with that because again, what I mean is like I feel like some people think when you come together, even if you're doing it slowly, right? You're savoring the process. It's like they think no wounds should be coming up. Like there should be nothing that comes up in terms of like yeah, when you're in that dynamic that maybe for women your abandonment wounds won't come up or for men I don't know some avoidance stuff won't come like no those things will come up like let's not kid ourselves yes you've done a lot of work but it's like it's I almost like to think about it this way Joy us doing the work on ourselves it's like the training grounds
yeah.
right it's like you're preparing yourself I don't know even like before battle. It's like you're preparing your body, your mind, your everything before you enter the actual thing, right? And again, this could go for anything. But we all know that before you do the actual thing, those things are going to come right up. And that's when it's like, have you actually done the work to be okay with those things coming up while you're doing it, right? And another analogy that's coming up to me is like, maybe you've never done public speaking and someone is like, "Can you present this?" And let's say you do want to, right? Maybe you do wanna be on stage. And it's like you go through that prep work of, you know, I don't know, preparing your presentation, rehearsing lines, embodying that moment when you get on stage in front of, like, I don't know, 20,000 people or whatever. But we all know the moment that actually comes to fruition where you're about to enter the stage. This is the real deal. We all know all that shit comes up. We all like let's not kid ourselves. It all will always come up because it's like your first time actually doing it and it's like, okay, can I breathe through this? Can I remember the times I've practiced and it's like you have to be in that discomfort, you know? It's anything new that we're entering, right? Because this kind of relationship is going to be new. It's always going to be an expansion of yourself, and that expansion is uncomfortable. Always.
It's making me think of swimming. But as in a sport. Um,
Go
well, I
on.
was a swimmer or like
Oh, okay.
track because you practice, right?
Mhm.
Like any type of sport, but I'm mainly thinking of like individual sports because that's the context we're talking in. And then, yeah, come race day, are you going to do that flip turn right? Are you going to hand that baton right in the race, right? Like, are you going to jump over that hurdle without falling on your ass, right? Like, you got it in practice, right? You've done the motions, your body has the movement, then you get the anxiety and the pressure, everybody's there, parents are in the stands type of thing, right? And it can get overwhelming, and that's when you throw it out. It's not that you can bring it back, right? And I think that's when, to keep it the sports analogy, you do multiple races, right? You do multiple meets in track,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
You go to different places, you challenge other teams, right? And then it becomes warm bodied. You don't throw it out at the
Mm.
first time when that gun is shot, right? And
Yeah.
you're like, no, I know how to do this. I know how to do that flip turn. I can do this, right? And then, yeah, you kind of build that. It's still individual, but you're
Mhm.
practicing on another level,
Yes. Yes, yes,
right?
yes. Yeah. Yeah,
So
you're
that's what I'm like,
practicing for
make the
them.
friends, like make the connections. And if it goes bad. But it's like going to the meet. You're like, I want to, like, I'm going to try this and we're going to see. And I think I learned this. I think it always is going to start a little wobbly because
Yeah.
you're, you got two nervous systems and two energies and you kind of have to feel it out, right? Even you and I, everybody we connect with. Yeah, and even people we already know, because we're growing at such a rate,
Yeah.
when we reconnect, like, with family members and stuff, you can use that. Like, how am I reacting when my uncle says that thing? That always just gets me, right? Am I gonna snap at him like I did last year at Christmas, or is this year I'm gonna take a different route? Like, you can
Yeah.
use those as mirrors for growth too, right?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
The world is your oyster.
Yes. Yes. A absolutely. But, again, that takes a
Oh, yeah.
very conscious and self-aware person because it is funny as you're mentioning all these sports things, like, again, for me, like, as a rider, even for me, it's like before you enter the ring for the show, like, obviously, you practice all the time, right, with your coach and lessons, and it's like funny thing is those nerves don't go away when you actually enter the ring and you're like, "Ugh, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." I'm like, "Can I do this? Can I do this?" And that's kind of what I'm saying is, like, I think there are certain people who think, "Oh, if I've healed enough, well, then it should just be buttery smooth." And it's like, "N no, no." And it doesn't mean, like, your nervous system is gonna be, like, no, like, your nervous system can be calm, but it's still like, wounds are still gonna come up. They're still gonna want to because, again, it's a different thing, I think, to heal in partnership, you know? I think
Well,
it's a
what you're healing in partnership is relational wounds,
yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So that could be around intimacy, it could
Yeah.
be around vulnerability, which are very similar, right?
Yep,
It
yep, yep.
could be, I'll catch myself, I won't ever say anything to the person, but I will catch it in myself first and be like, that hit me a certain way in my body. Did that man mean it that way? Or
Mm.
is this a past, or am I reacting out of a past, thing I've lived? And so I will sit with it before I ever say anything to him.
Good, yeah, yeah.
And I will decide, oh, no, he said that in a way that made me think of this, but the
Mhm.
energy feels different,
Yeah.
right? And I know this person and they've never meant it in that way it was meant in the
Mhm.
past. So this is a me thing, but I still might want to say this, right? Like, hey, you said that thing. And that's, that triggered me in a way, but I'm dealing with it. You can communicate that or you can just deal with it yourself and move
Yeah,
on, right?
yeah.
But there's other relational things probably around sex. Like very lot of it we could have a lot of issues around that and like being seen and being, feeling desired, all of these things.
Mm.
And a lot of it's just expressing. And I think when you go slow, you can
Mhm.
express those slowly. You're not bombarding each other with like, well, this is what I'm working on. What are you working on? Let's just pile it in this big
Well,
lump
yeah.
and just
Yes.
look at
Yeah. Obviously, it's a the unlayering process is supposed to be like
Yeah.
slow and meticulous and just absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, there's a lot actually in a relation that you gotta unpack, right? And again, I just it feels like for men, it's like they're just more scared of that than women are.
I think they're more reserved. They need to feel safe enough to open up. And if
Yeah,
they don't, they're not gonna do it. They're
but I
just
mean,
not go
like,
we might do it anyway because we tend to have more people-pleasing tendencies, I think, um, just culturally, but, no, I feel like they're better at nuancing that than females, I'll give them that. They know they can read the energy, they know what if she's safe enough to open up to. But even if she is, if they have a fear around that or a wound even about sharing, right? Even if they know she's safe, they that's something they might have to do on their own, actually. Or, or they need to fucking tell you so you can help them and help heal it relationally. But if they don't fucking tell you, then that it's on them, right? You can't do it for them. We never can do that for
no, no, no,
people.
absolutely
We're
not.
not saying that, right? But you only know what they say, right? You might can feel it energetically, like, there's something he's not saying, right? But,
Of course, we feel it, yeah,
yeah,
immediately.
you can feel it, but you won't know what it is, maybe. You just know there's something behind the curtain. Tickle.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting, Joy, is, like, we'll name it, and some of them won't admit it. They'll be like, no," like, because they too feel too
Well,
seen.
that's when we become the tower moment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, yes, right? Exactly. Because the funny thing is, I'll tell you this, like, men have told me, like, "Oh, like, like, I feel seen or that I can feel vulnerable with you," because I do offer that space. I do that with everybody, like, well, that's what I mean. I just feel like women are better at that because we practice also that with other women, right? We're better at like, our best friend calls us, they're like sobbing on the ground and we're like, "What's wrong?" Like what's up? Like tell me, right? We're used to being
Open.
very like nurturing, right? Or even our child, like, if you have a child, like it's easier for us to be like, "Okay, baby, tell me what's wrong," like men don't have that as much, right? I'm not saying that all of them are cold, but it's harder for them, especially how they were raised and how they were brought up, and probably on top of that, even like mother wounds and all this. Like, uh, it's harder for them. So it's like even if they feel safe, there's a certain love. Like there, there's some of them where it's like, okay, wait, I don't know what this means if I feel safe, and they
So,
probably go back to past wounds with
are you saying they don't know how to respond to you and your emotions?
um know how to be totally open, like,
Um,
in their
I think
vulnerability.
to me, I'm in a place now where like I let them just like we like to use ourselves as a flower. Like I let them bloom on their own with that. You tell me when you're ready to tell me. And I think that gives them like, okay, she's not pressuring me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I ain't gonna go nowhere. You tell me when you want to tell me. And if you don't ever want to tell me, you don't need to tell me. Like that's what I'm here for. Like whatever you feel comfortable with. And if I feel like I want to tell you something, I'll tell you. If not, I'm not gonna tell you shit. Right?
Well, yeah, that's when we become, like, mirrors, right? Like, that's kind of what I mean, is, like, women do mirror
Well, I
what the
think
men
women to
is.
women, when like you and I or, any female to female relationship and friendship, we go there very fast, right? We go there pretty fucking fast and it builds rapport and we build that trust bond pretty fucking quickly. And then we just keep it going. So for us, it's like, well, of course we're just gonna jump in, right? Like, that's natural to just be like, "Remember the Superman?" Like, "Here I am, sister." And she's like, "Fuck yeah, me too," right? Like, oh, we could do that and we don't freak each other out,
Mm.
right? Um, but they be they do it on their own time.
Oh, I
But
know.
I think with emotional intelligence, I'm thinking now of my ex-husband, and I felt like I waited around for, like, 3 years, right? And then I'm like, "Okay, where's the fucking blooming? I'm getting tired of waiting." Like, I don't know how to be any more safe. I don't know how to, like, do
But that's the thing.
granted, I was, a different person than I am now, but even then, I was doing everything I could think of, right,
No.
to help him, and it was, finally, I was like, "I can't. This
Well,
is a
that's the
him
thing.
thing," right?
It's not a you thing, Joy. But
I know.
that's what I mean. Because, like, again, I have also experienced that, and I also don't like pressuring people as well. Like, to me, I'm like, I don't find that attractive. I don't like pulling things out of people if they don't. I'm also like you, where I'm like, if you don't wanna tell me, it's okay, don't tell me. Like,
Yeah.
we don't even have to talk. Fine. Like, I I have other people that, because for me, I'm, like, so focused on reciprocity now, and that's with everything. With platonic, with family, with relate like, I'm so, like, this needs to be reciprocal because if it's not, fuck off. And I say that with love, but, like, I just don't have the time anymore to
Well, that
hold
leaks your
space.
energy.
Yeah, I don't have time anymore to just hold space for people who have one foot in and one foot out. And again, that goes both for, like, girlfriends, someone who might be more romantically, and I just don't have time for that anymore. I've done that way too much. And, like, I remember there was a guy I was seeing, and again, he was under that spiritual umbrella. And I was also like, okay, it feels like he's one of those, like, slow blooms, and I was giving him all the space and all this, and he told me, like, "Wow, there's certain things you've said that, like, I never thought people saw and blah, blah, blah," right? And he couldn't lean in, and I'm like, "Okay." Like, I respected that. I was like, "Fine, do your thing. Don't include me in that then, because 'cause I'm not gonna be waiting around holding space for you while you make up your mind whether you're ready to fucking open up."
Well, I think that
Peace.
leaning in, that's the I can't say that word as well as you know, reciprocity, right?
Reciprocity,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, if you can energetically, you'll feel it and you'll hear it, right? And
Yeah.
you'll feel like, "Ah, okay, he's leaning in, or he's bringing this to my attention, I'm gonna match it."
Yes.
Right? And there's just this, you keep matching it and you're building the structure of the relationship
Yeah.
by doing that. That's deepening, it's bonding, it's just beautiful, right? And I think that's one reason to go slow because then you're building it. But yeah, at some point, somebody's gonna give something, and then
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
oh,
Oh,
this
yeah.
this is like, oh, am I ready to go there? But I guess what I'm learning now is, like, I name stuff when I can sense both of us feel it, but it hasn't been said yet, and then I feel safe enough to name it and, like, add my tile, and just kind of build that way. I'm still learning it, so I can't speak to it very well, but, it feels, it doesn't feel rushed, but it also doesn't feel slow, so that's pretty cool.
Well, I guess it's like the pace that, yeah, you're comfortable going at, right?
Well, that just comes
Um,
back to sovereignty, like, your pace, what's right for you, right? And you want them to stay in that lane and neither one bending to try to make the other one like them more, or you know what I mean? Um, that's old joyous stuff as well.
no, yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of layers to this. Um But I don't know, what I keep finding, Joy, it's like, and by the way, I've also heard this from other, like, male content creators who are in this. They do say, and especially the ones in partnership, they're like, "Listen, I thought I was healed. I met my wife and then no, I wasn't." But they said, like, instead of running away, they leaned in. They
Yeah.
leaned in. They were like, "Oh, okay, well, this isn't," just because they've done whatever work that they have done doesn't mean that when they enter something, it's just gonna be completely buttery smooth, you know? They're like, "No, I got initiated into the fire even more when I met my wife," which was then girlfriend, right? And they were doing the dance. They're like, "She shined all the light on all the corners that I still wasn't being fully embodied or healed or whatever." And they're like, it was actually a very triggering thing for them. It was actually like, they're like, but they chose to stay, they chose to lean in, they chose to be initiated and result, because they're like, their woman was only shining light on the things that they were not, again, being truthful and embodied in. And it was a shocker to them because they're like, "I thought I was, but then I
Mhm.
met my woman and I learned that I wasn't." And, yeah, there's, like, a few of them that I follow, and they've all said the same thing because 'cause they're in partnership now, and they talk about the masculine feminine dynamic. And there was one, he was like, "I'm surprised she didn't leave me."
Aw.
Yeah, he's, like, reflecting back on how sometimes he would react, and he was like, "I was on the healing path." He was on the healing path, and he's like, "Yeah, there's times where I'm like, wow, I would've smacked myself," of, like, how he reacted to her when she was shining a mirror and a light of all the places he was still not operating in full integrity.
Mm. That's beautiful. That's
Right?
really beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Do did they reflect that to her, or was it just her doing that, you think?
They said it was just her because, this is what I mean, is women do tend, like, we're way more intuitive, we're way, like, and this is a known thing. Again, it doesn't mean that men aren't, but, like, we are more tuned into that, right? And I do believe just women, we tend to, again, I know some people will be like, "Not every woman." I know, most women, the ones that are healed and on this path and blah, blah, blah. We're so tuned into truth and fairness and, just, like, holding integrity also for ourselves, and if you do that for a while, you're always gonna do that. I'm sure there's probably, and I mean, I don't know, they haven't really mentioned, but I'm sure there's probably things that, she got initiated in as well, maybe. I don't know, but they were just saying, like, "No, my woman was the greatest initiation to the next level of myself and my healing." Yeah, there's at least, like, 3 different ones that I really do respect, actually 4, that are all in partnership and have said, "No, my woman has been the greatest initiation." And it wasn't easy in the beginning. It was like, to them, it was fucking triggering to their ego and their pride because I'm sure and I mean, I know I developed one years ago, and I'm more, humble. I have a lot more humility. We do tend to develop, like, a spiritual ego of, like, "I am healed, I am love, I am light, I meditate, I do this, blah, 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 blah." And it's like, "Ha, ha, ha," if you're not embodied, like, no, And I because men do tend to operate a bit more from that ego and pride, I think they get slapped on the face, no, metaphorically, when they meet a woman who, is so embodied, and they're like, "You're still operating from your ego and pride," and they're like, "What?" Right? They get brought down back to earth, back to reality of like, oh, okay, never mind. There's still wounds here and blah, blah, blah.
When they can handle the fire, when we challenge them like that,
Right? Right? And not run, but be initiated by it. Right?
and humbled, yeah, because you're
Humble.
not like odds are she's being her,
Yeah.
and she's just calling him out on his shit,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
probably, hopefully, doing it in a loving way, but it's gonna have some fire to it, right? If not,
You know what? It
you
has.
can't puppy dog that. You can't puppy dog that.
You can't. You can't, because the fire is what transmutes it. I mean, hell, when we go through our dark nights of the soul, that's not, you know, like you said, puppy dogging. Like it's not sunshine and rainbows. If it was, everyone would be doing it, right? The fire, there's a reason why there's that fire, that pain, that darkness to it. It is to transmute it, to transform it, to look at it. Like, when you really think about it, there is no growth without discomfort.
Ooh, yeah, no, 100%.
Like,
All growth
there's
comes with discomfort.
zero fucking expansion without discomfort. And you apply that to anything. Apply it, to going out to the gym. Let's say you're a bodybuilder. Obviously, there's pain and discomfort with that, you know?
Mhm.
Birth, though I've been hearing lately that it can be the opposite, which I do agree.
What, birth?
Apparently, women are supposed to have, like, pleasurable births.
Not me. Fuck that. No.
Oh,
That was
did you do it in the hospital?
yeah.
That's what. So I'll send you some stuff, but
Well, I
apparently
ain't having
it's
no
sort of.
more babies.
Well, I'll
No,
send
that
you
was a
some
one and
stuff
done.
that other women are saying that apparently, like, if we're just left to our own, like, I'll send it to you again. Like, I can't speak fully to it, but I've been hearing the
I've heard
opposite.
that before.
But
But there's so much shit that's a whole other podcast,
oh yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
there's a lot of lies out there. And women don't tell you very much about the whole pregnancy and birth shit. And it is
yes.
I think I'd rather go through birth than fucking being pregnant again. Like
Oh, really?
oh
So
man.
see, maybe that, like, growing that baby is discomfort, right? It's
Fuck yeah,
yeah.
are you fucking kidding me?
So, but again, that's that's the initiation, that's the expansion, right? And again,
Oh
that's
yeah.
discomfort, right? Even doing anything, like, this literally applies to anything and everything. Doing something completely brand new, starting a new career, it's never gonna be like, oh, sunshine and rainbows. It's going to be discomfort because it's a expansion of a version of yourself that you've never been. You've never been. Even when we're kids and we're growing up, I remember, because I'm tall, and I don't know if it's
I'm
my.
tall too.
Yeah, I'm 5'9".
I'm 5'10".
Okay. A lot of similarities, Joy. So I don't know if you remember, but I remember when I was growing up, my legs at night were hurting so bad.
Yes. Yes. The
I
growing
couldn't
pains.
sleep.
Yeah, no, they were bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's discomfort because as this little body, we're growing up and we're changing. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. And, like, that's what I'm trying to say also in relationship, especially
Yeah.
in healthy relationship. People need to understand it's not going to be fucking buttery smooth. It's a relationship you've never done in your life, for example, a healthy one. What makes you think that it's going to be all bliss in the beginning? It'll be bliss, but after the initiation of going through that, of, you know, coming into that union, coming into that container with the other person, it's going to be an initiation because it's another expansion of yourself, right? afterwards, when you've done the dance, it's like, okay, you get to, you know, you guys understand each other and whatever, right? But then also for that couple, let's just say they've never had a child. When they bring a child into the world, that's also another freaking initiation,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
right? It's never just like buttery smooth, and that's what makes us into the greatest version of ourselves, really.
No, I agree. Like, there's I don't have anything really to add to that. To me, it's when I'm not in those moments, it's very easy for me to romanticize and say that that healing, that discomfort is beautiful, blissful, right? Because I'm not in it in that moment. But
Yeah.
when reflectively, it still is beautiful
Yep.
because it is growth, right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, the relationship will stay beautiful and blissful. But you're gonna you gotta expect a little wobble. We're all humans. We're all breeding some baggage, right? And even if you're like both in your 20s, right? Freaking 19-year-olds, you still have your childhood baggage, right? You probably
Yeah.
haven't discovered it yet. I'm not saying I know most people watching us are not that age. I'm just saying like
Probably not. That's
I'm
not a
just saying
compliment.
like even at that level, you're bringing shit, right? There is no real clean slate in a way. Um because we're all our programs and the things we are running and until you really fine tune that, right? And even then, it's come on, it doesn't end. I'm sure even when you're freaking 80 years old, there's still stuff, right? That probably gonna come up or something. I don't know. We're not
Oh,
80.
oh, absolutely. Like, have you read, and I don't know if I asked you this before, Women Who Run with the Wolves?
No, but I've been seeing that book pop up a lot.
Okay, read that because there's a very interesting part. And actually, this is under the category of like union. So how the book works is like they have like these mythical stories, and then she dissects them and she tells you, she unlayers them. It's really cool. And one of them is about union, and it's really interesting because she does mention this part of like, she calls it life slash death slash life, which is just death and rebirth within the cycle of relationship, and how like you have to be initiated by it. Like, you know, you meet a person, and sure, it might be like if that's that life part of it being exciting, but the thing is you go more and more into it, you go through a death portal of perhaps the life that you were living, maybe, um, like changing certain things because obviously now you have to like b and that there's this constant death and rebirth cycle within a relationship. And that she said that, like, some people get scared of that and then they run the other way, and she's like, what they don't understand is, like, they'll never get past that part. They'll just find another person, and here comes the same fricking cycle, this death and rebirth cycle, and it's like, "Okay, you can run away again, but you're never like, you can't just skip over it." You're gonna have to at some point lean into the fire and go through that death portal, and then again, you get rebirthed, and then there's another like,
Well, I guess I view that sacred union as transformative. That's
yeah, that
you're
I was
going
gonna
into it
say
because you want that death and rebirth. Like you want to be remade through,
that
this
takes a
relationship.
healed, conscious woman. That I was gonna say that you could tell you're a healed, conscious woman for you to say that, but I don't find a lot of men say that and admit that.
Well, I'll wait around for him then, because I'm not settling for anything less,
Oh,
right?
oh,
And I
oh,
know you aren't
absolutely.
either, right? Yeah,
As you should, right?
right.
And what I was like, that's what I mean. I just feel like
Well,
A
to
lot
me,
of them.
I get how that can come across as scary, but to me, I'm like, "No, I, like, really want that. Like, no, please give it to me, please." Like, I want to be transformed. I want to turn into mascara running down my face. Like, I don't like, let's just do this.
But it's because, Joy, you've probably done a lot of death and rebirth on your own, right?
Girl, a fucking phoenix on my wrist.
There you go. I have a butterfly on my wrist, which is another, like,
Yeah,
metamorphosis, right? That's
yeah.
hilarious how it's on your wrist to another
I've kinda lost count.
right? I don't Oh, but yeah, I don't know, I think it is natural for women to do this, like, death and rebirth cycle. For men, not so much.
Well, think of our menstrual cycle. It's fucking built in.
Yeah,
We're a different person each week, essentially,
this
because
is
of our
true.
bodies, right?
This
I
is
know when
true.
I am in a hormonal shift, I can feel it,
Mm,
right? I'm like, this ain't normal me
yeah.
or that me from last week. No, this is bitchy joy. Like, that's what's going right? Or no, I'm moody joy now.
Mm.
Like, I'm gonna cry about everything. And then you just
Yeah.
roll with it. Because we don't really have a fucking choice. We just have to roll with it.
You don't have a choice. Yeah, you just have to. You have to accept
So,
it.
like, we become accustomed to it because we literally don't have choice, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and we
No.
get good at masking it and hiding it because of culturally, and we gotta keep doing work or school or something, right?
Oh, I
Um,
don't mask it.
well, I mean, in the past, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
now
No,
we're
no, I
like,
agree.
this is what's going on,
Yeah.
so you know.
But yeah. Yeah, I'm way more authentic with it now. I'm just like, I don't care.
I don't give a fuck now if it makes people uncomfortable to talk
Yeah.
about that because I'm like, you know what? It's fucking natural. Just get over yourselves. If you
Yeah.
can't, like, if you don't have a you don't menstruate, good for you, right? You must be a man or you had it removed. Like,
Yeah.
but this is
Yeah.
what my life, I have had to deal with this since 12 years old. So we're like,
Yeah,
this is
right?
just, yeah.
It's funny. I've also gotten to the point where I'll even tell men straight up.
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm on my moon cycle," or I'm like, "I'm really," and I just don't, but you know what's funny? Again, like, it hasn't been in a very, like, romantic sense, it's been more of a platonic sense. They're like, "Oh, cool, okay."
Like, yeah. Yeah.
They're just like, "Okay, cool, thanks." I'm like, "Okay, good, you know." But, oh my gosh.
Is that
Anyway,
the note we want to end on? I don't
I
know.
guess so. I guess so.
Oh, it's funny.
I love how we just go with the flow completely, Joy. We just have a conversation, that's
Well,
it.
we tied it all in. It all got
Yeah,
there.
yeah, but still, yeah, I love it. I
We
love it.
made our way.
It's authentic.
Very much, very much.
Yeah.
No, I have no notes. Like,
Yeah, no, I
we
know.
vaguely remembered our topic, and we still hit it, right?
Oh, I knew we would. I knew we would. I'm like, somehow we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Alexandra. This is amazing as
Yeah,
always, right?
yeah.
Obviously, we always have a blast.
I hope you guys watching enjoy it too, like,
And
laugh.
we had 15 people show up. That's amazing
Yeah.
and beautiful. Thank you, everybody.
And I mean, even afterwards, I hope you guys, had a laugh as well and took something out of this. Alrighty, well, thank you for having me, Joy.
Yay. Bye.
Bye.